children in broad daylight. It tore the throats from farmers in their own fields. It was a predator that did not kill for hunger. It killed for sport. It was the eyes. When it looked at you, you knew it was thinking, and you knew it understood your terror and was enjoying it. Between 1764 and 1767, the mountainous province of Gevaudan in southern France was the hunting ground for a creature of unparalleled ferocity. Official records document over 100 fatal attacks, creating a historical account that is both terrifying and profound. The locals called it La Bête du Gevaudan. The story begins in the summer of 1764. The first confirmed victim was 14-year-old Jeanne Boulet, found near the village of Hubax, her body horribly savaged but, crucially, not consumed. At first, this was treated as a tragic but conventional wolf attack. That assumption would soon be shattered. Just weeks later, the beast made its first audacious appearance, attacking a group of children led by 12-year-old Jacques Portefeuille. Armed only with sharpened sticks, Portefeuille and his friends bravely drove the creature away. Their heroism was so remarkable that it reached the ears of the king himself, who awarded them a royal stipend for their courage. This single act proved that the beast was real and that it could be fought. But the pattern that emerged was profoundly unnatural. The wounds were inconsistent with known wolf behavior. The creature seemed to target the head and neck and often ignored nearby livestock to attack humans. Witness accounts given in states of terror were dismissed as fantasy. They spoke of a creature like a wolf, but as large as a calf, with a coat of reddish-black fur, a massive jaw, and a scream that sounded like nothing on earth. As the body count rose, fear turned to mass panic. The Bishop of Mende ordered 40 hours of public prayer, believing the beast was a divine punishment, a scourge of God sent to punish the sins of the people. In the taverns and cottages, whispers turned to the supernatural, to the dreaded loup-garou, the werewolf of French folklore. The crisis escalated until it reached the court of King Louis XV himself, a national embarrassment that demanded a royal response. The first to answer the call was Captain Duhamel of the Clermont-Ferrand Dragoons. He organized enormous hunts, known as battues, conscripting thousands of local peasants to sweep the forests. But these efforts were chaotic and fruitless. The beast was always a step ahead, vanishing into the dense wilderness. The king's patience wore thin, so he sent the Denneval brothers, France's most renowned wolf hunters. They arrived with their pack of expertly trained hounds, and for months they hunted relentlessly, killing over 1,000 wolves. But the attacks on humans continued unabated, proving that the creature they were hunting was something else entirely. Frustrated and desperate, the king sent his final weapon, his personal gun-bearer, the formidable hunter François Antoine. Armed with the king's authority and a detachment of elite men, he was the final authority, the ultimate expert. In September 1765, Antoine and his men cornered and killed an enormous gray wolf near the Abbey of Chazes. It was a colossal specimen, weighing over 130 pounds. Several attack survivors were brought in to identify it, and they confirmed the scars on its body matched wounds they had inflicted. The wolf was stuffed and presented at the royal court. The king declared the threat over. François Antoine was hailed as a hero. For 2 months, there was peace in Gevaudan. Then in December, the attacks resumed. The ferocity was identical, the methods the same. The horrifying conclusion was inescapable. Whatever François Antoine had killed, it was not the beast. The king had abandoned them, believing the matter settled. The people of Gevaudan were now utterly alone, facing a creature that had defied soldiers and heroes alike. It was in this desperation that the final hunt was organized by a local innkeeper named Jean Chastel. A quiet, deeply religious man, Chastel was an unlikely hero. The folklore surrounding his hunt is powerful. It is said he loaded his musket not with lead, but with silver, bullets he had personally cast from a medallion of the Virgin Mary. On that fateful day, he was not hunting, but sitting and reading prayers when the beast appeared before him, strangely calm. Chastel finished his prayer, closed his book, and took a shot. On June 19, 1767, Jean Chastel finally shot and killed a large, unusual-looking animal. Immediately, the attacks in Gevaudan stopped, permanently, but history would be denied its answer. The body of Chastel's beast was transported to Versailles, but the carcass had putrefied so badly during the long journey that it was ordered buried before royal anatomists could properly study it. The one piece of evidence that could solve the mystery was now lost forever, and so the definitive identity of the Beast of Gévaudan was lost to history. When we, as researchers of folklore, analyze the surviving accounts, the explanations tend to fall into three compelling categories. Each attempts to solve the puzzle of the beast's identity, and each carries its own chilling implications. Theory 1. The exotic animal. This theory posits that the beast was a creature like a striped hyena, an animal entirely alien to 18th century France. At the time, private menageries were a symbol of wealth among the French aristocracy, and an escape was certainly possible. This explanation is compelling because a hyena's physical attributes align remarkably well with some witness reports. Their reddish-gray brindled coats match some descriptions, and their famously powerful jaws, capable of crushing bone with ease, would account for the horrific head and neck wounds inflicted upon the victims. Furthermore, the creature's strange, otherworldly cry, often described as a cackle or laugh, is a well-known characteristic of the hyena. However, the theory is not without its flaws. Hyenas are primarily scavengers, not hunters of humans, and it's questionable if a creature native to Africa could have survived, let alone thrived, through the harsh winters of the Gevaudan mountains. Theory 2. The hybrid. Others suggest a creature deliberately engineered, a wolf-dog hybrid, specifically bred for its size and ferocity. This was not unheard of, and the results are often creatures that are larger, stronger, and far more unpredictable than their wild counterparts. A hybrid could have lacked a wolf's natural fear of humans, explaining its boldness in attacking in broad daylight. This could also account for the inconsistent physical descriptions. The immense size of a large dog like a mastiff, combined with the cunning and predatory instinct of a wolf, would create a truly formidable monster. It could have been an experiment in breeding war dogs that escaped its master, or perhaps something even more sinister, a living weapon designed to be a brutal tool of terror, now unleashed upon the populace. Theory 3. The human element. Perhaps the most disturbing theory suggests a human perpetrator, a local sadist who trained a large animal to attack, using the region-wide hysteria as a cover for his own horrific crimes. This theory often centers on a single family, the Chastels. Historical suspicion has long fallen upon Antoine Chastel, the son of the man who eventually killed the beast. Antoine was a known recluse with a sinister reputation, said to have kept large red-colored mastiffs. In this scenario, the beast was his instrument, perhaps fitted with an armored hide of boar skin to protect it from early musket shots. A human master could have directed the creature's unnatural tactics, its specific targeting of humans, and its preference for attacking the head and throat. This theory transforms the story from a simple monster hunt into a dark psychological drama, suggesting Jean Chastel may have killed the beast not just to save the province, but perhaps to end his own son's monstrous reign of terror. But these explanations, rational as they may be, still leave questions. Could a normal animal, however strange, truly have displayed such cunning? Could it have inspired such profound, singular terror in an entire kingdom? Ultimately, the story of the Beast of Gévaudan endures, not because we know what it was, but precisely because we don't. It is a timeless account of a community besieged by an unknowable horror, and its preservation in the historical record is what makes it a cornerstone of the Bestiary archive.